Tonight feels like a turning point in Foxboro, one of those that changes the conversation around the league and lights a spark in the fan base. A performance everyone had been demanding finally detonated at the right moment. A veteran showed exactly why he was brought in. A lightning bolt on special teams flipped the game's energy, and a quiet tweak opened the door to something bigger. What does that reveal about this team's identity? Are we staring at the true inflection point of the season, or just a one-off flash? You won't believe what we've got today. So grab a seat, drop a like, and let's get straight to the news. And while the echo of the win is still ringing, one question keeps pounding. Did the offense bounce back by chance, or did it finally find its center? The answer started to show up on the first drives: tempo, variety, and a confidence we hadn't seen in weeks. After gifting away 5 cheap possessions the previous round, the unit went back to respecting the football, ran with intent, and most importantly, flashed a clear identity. When the offensive line buys even half a second and the quarterback reads coverage without panic, windows open, routes gain depth, and the field stretches, the backfield set the tone the right way. Clean protections, decisive cuts, shoulder down to churn out the dirty yards. Ramondre Stevenson, hammered all week for those 2 fumbles, answered with patience behind his blocks and surgical acceleration to the edge, while the committee kept the engine warm to protect the script. That physical tone put the house in order emotionally, but the true thermometer was the quarterback. In his 16th NFL start, Drake May commanded like a veteran: calm progressions, leverage reads, anticipation into tight windows, and functional mobility to extend downs without risking possession. When the ball comes out on time and with purpose, the offense breathes and the stadium feels it. It was quiet leadership, the kind that convinces, and the evolution isn't just about the arm, it's about posture. May is building the aura, a locker room follows, the classic ride with me. After the final whistle, there was no empty hype. Short message, next step focus, accountability, both publicly and in the heart of the group. The fan base senses it and responds. The feed that asked, "Is it real yesterday?" is willing to say, "It's happening today." That effect leaks into practice, the film room, and especially Sunday night. Because a Sunday night football against the Bills is up next, maybe the toughest test of the month, and the margin for error goes back to 0. Will the maturity we just saw hold up under pressure, noise, and disguised blitzes? If it does, we're staring at a true season turning point. No exaggeration. On the whiteboard, the calls fit the personnel. Heavy play action to simplify reads, RPOs to punish aggressive adjustments, pre-snap motion to tip coverage and create angles in the run game. The result? Sustained sequences, shorter third downs, and above all, controlled explosives that change the field's geography. When the offense lives off first downs and not miracles, the defense breathes. The clock becomes your ally, and the pressure flips. Pure complementarity. One subtle detail: the target distribution forced the secondary to play honest, opening space for intermediate crossers and shots over the middle. Small gears, aligned, turning confidence into consistent production. Of course, the scars are fresh. Ball security needs to become habit. Communication in protection still wobbles, and the timing on crossing routes can sharpen. But when your quarterback delivers fast processing and competitive humility, fixes come quicker. That's why this win is worth more than a number on the scoreboard. It signals an upward curve. If this is the floor of May's second season, imagine the ceiling as timing and chemistry mature over the next 3 or 4 games. And that wasn't even the most surprising part of the day. There's something almost poetic when a veteran who used to haunt you puts on your jersey and decides to rewrite his own story. For years, Patriots fans suffered watching an elite wide receiver rip through our secondary. Then in the offseason, he lands in Foxboro with skepticism trailing him, a hefty contract and a reconstructed knee. Plenty asked, does he still have it? Well, against the Panthers, the answer roared. From his first connections with Drake May, the chemistry was obvious. Clean routes, easy separations, secure hands. The play in the second quarter said it all. Diggs burst across the middle, gained 2 steps on his defender, hauled in a dime from May, and turned it into 33 yards that ignited the stadium. It wasn't just production, it was a statement. Time hasn't passed for those who know how to reinvent themselves. If even the quarterback admitted he looked faster than expected, imagine the defenders who underestimated a 31-year-old veteran. And that hit the fan base hard. Social feeds that questioned the investment a week ago now pulse with he's still that guy. The comments split between optimists already dreaming of an unstoppable duo and skeptics who demand consistency, but everyone recognizes it. This performance rekindled hope, and the narrative is perfect. In the same week the offense showed maturity, its new primary target proved he's still an elite weapon. Coincidence? There are no coincidences in pro football. There's preparation meeting opportunity. Tactically, Diggs' presence forces defenses to play honest. If they used to crowd the short game or shrink the field against May, now they must respect the vertical threat. That opens space for mid-level crossers, well-timed screens, and lighter boxes in the run game. It's a domino effect. A reborn wideout expands Josh McDaniels' call sheet, protects the quarterback, and even boosts the ground attack. And more on a young offense, a veteran voice with playoff scars carries weight. Leadership isn't measured only in yards, but in presence in the locker room. Yes, caution matters. One game doesn't erase race 3 quiet weeks. But if you watch the body language, you saw a player freed up, confidence back in his cuts, burst after the catch. That's not cold numbers, that's the eye test. If this trend holds, the Patriots stop being just a promising team with an ascending QB and become a real problem for any defense. And guess who's next? Buffalo. Old team, old torment, now the perfect stage for a revenge story. Imagine the impact. Diggs facing the Bills on Sunday night with a chance to stamp that he's still decisive. If he made noise against the Panthers, against his former team, it could register as an earthquake. And if this connection with May truly clicks, we're talking about an offense that no longer leans only on youth, but also on a hungry veteran. The question, are we about to witness a legend's rebirth in a Patriots uniform? Because everything points to yes, and the timing couldn't be better. There was a nagging issue for Patriots Nation since the preseason, the infamous third phase. Everyone talked about the revamped offense and the defense that always keeps a competitive baseline. But what about special teams? Mike Vrabel kept Jeremy Springer against expectations because he believed he could extract impact from that unit. Early weeks showed the opposite. Execution errors, soft coverage, a rookie kicker who didn't inspire confidence, and even the previously steady punter slipping. The fan base's patience thinned and the critique grew. You can't lose games on the margins. Then Marcus Jones decided to take the narrative. A corner already known for explosive flashes, he cemented himself as the spark this team needed. Early in the first quarter, with the game threatening to follow the negative script, defense taking an opening punch and the offense starting with a 3-and-out, Jones fielded a punt at the 13 and turned it into 87 magical yards to the end zone. Plays like that change more than the score. They flip the stadium's mood, lift the sideline, and force the opponent into a different mental gear. It was the jolt Foxboro demanded. And he wasn't done. In the second quarter, another return for 61 yards nearly became a second touchdown, saved only by the punter's desperation angle. In 2 snaps, Jones redefined the game and reminded everyone the Patriots can still be lethal on special teams. The most interesting detail is that this impact isn't limited to stats. He gifts the offense short fields, reducing pressure on a young quarterback. He inspires the defense, which seemed to flip the aggression switch after that decisive return, and started suffocating Carolina. Football is complementary, and Marcus Jones stitched that connection with 2 sprints. Strategically, the takeaway matters. If this level of contribution becomes routine, the team can offset offensive swings or defensive lapses with an elite trump card in the return game. Historically, championship Patriots teams thrived in special teams. Adam Vinatieri, Matthew Slater, games decided on details. Jones carries that modern DNA capable of flipping a game by himself with speed and block reading. And more, his performance forces opponents to rethink plans, kick away from him, and gift favorable field position. That's a psychological weapon, not just an athletic one. The fans noticed. Online debates lit up. Some want more defensive snaps for Jones. Others argue he should be preserved primarily for returns as a lethal weapon. Either way, one certainty: the Patriots regained a differentiator in a phase that had become a sore spot. Against stronger opponents, starting in a hole isn't an option. If Marcus Jones keeps this pace, the team can avoid early deficits and dictate tone sooner. The question, will this special team's resurgence be sustainable, or was it a one-off explosion? Sunday night against Buffalo will tell us. If it's consistent, we're talking about a hidden weapon turning into a headliner in 2025. Sometimes, a win goes far beyond the score. That's what happened against the Panthers when the Patriots showed something rare, a complete team. It wasn't only the quarterback's shine, the veteran's explosion, or a return ace's genius. It was the fit of pieces which, together, set the tone for a team that can dream bigger. The defense responded early, the offense spread responsibility, and the run game brought balance. That kind of performance makes the league stop and pay attention. Drake May, increasingly comfortable, played like a seasoned vet. 2 passing touchdowns, 1 on the ground, and most importantly, control of the game. He didn't force throws, protected the ball, and when needed, improvised with intelligence. The message is clear. The game is starting to slow down for him. And when that happens with talented quarterbacks, the ceiling skyrockets. And we're only at the beginning of year 2. If this is the start, what's coming next could be scary for opponents. Alongside him, Stefon Diggs shifted from question mark to protagonist. His 6 catches and 100-plus yards weren't just numbers, they were signs of a connection forming. The next chapter comes against the Bills, his former team. Is there greater motivation than proving in prime time that he's still got the juice? Fans are already talking revenge game, and the NFL loves that narrative. Meanwhile, Marcus Jones stole the show on special teams. His 67 return yards and touchdown didn't just break a franchise record, they revived a Patriots tradition, winning in the details, in the spaces most overlooked. The psychological impact of a return like that is massive, and against elite opponents, it can be the difference between winning and losing. Vrabel knows it, and he'll squeeze that secret weapon to the max. On the ground, the running back trio finally presented as a solution instead of a problem. Henderson, Gibson, and Stevenson split snaps well. No turnovers, 2 touchdowns, total balance. That variety forces defenses to stay honest, opens space for play action, and reduces May's burden under pressure. Pure complementarity, something missing in prior weeks. And yes, the defense. After yielding early, it shut the door. Organized pressure, third downs denied, turnovers on downs at key moments. It was classic Patriots defense, not flashy but extremely efficient. Good enough to give the offense the calm to build its plan. In the end, this win feels more valuable than any so far. It wasn't just a 42-13 over a shaky opponent, it was the way the team won, showing layers, diverse weapons, and resilience. Now the question for the fan base, was this a preview of what's coming or just a bright flash? The answer arrives on Sunday night against the Bills, the perfect stage to prove the Patriots aren't just coming back, they're ready to scare the NFL again. If the win over the Panthers revealed anything, it was identity. May controlled the game with composure. Diggs reignited the explosive threat. Marcus Jones restored supremacy to special teams, and the backfield committee delivered balance that the defense amplified. Now comes the verdict. Sunday night against the Bills. Maximum pressure, revenge narrative, hostile territory. It's on stages like this that projects become reality. Patriots Nation believes, does this team already have the backbone to contend at the top of the AFC, or does it still need to prove week to week consistency? Drop your take in the comments, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We'll pick it up again tomorrow, together.